It's one of the hottest nights of the year, if not, it's breaking records. So this is a good night to be talking about climate change. But we're going to try to keep you cool in here. I'm Larissa Burdinsky, and along with Larry Bressler, we are concerned Newton Democrats, and we've been increasingly concerned about the current political climate with its constant barrage of news and crises and just downright misinformation. And with all of this going on, climate change gets really scant attention. So the purpose of this forum is to remind us all about the urgency of dealing with the issues of climate change. And that's what our speakers are going to tell us about tonight. They're going to present their ideas and solutions for ameliorating climate change and for adjusting to the current climate situation. And I'll briefly introduce our speakers. David Ismay is a senior clean energy and climate change attorney for the Conservation Law Foundation of Massachusetts, and his focus is on decarbonizing the Commonwealth. Emily Norton is, she just recently began her new position as executive director of the Charles River Watershed Association, and she's also the Ward 2 City Councilor here in Newton. John Reilly is co-director of the MIT Joint Program on the Science and Policy of Global Change, and his focus is on understanding the role of human activities as a contributor to climate change. Gary Rusinski is, he's been a climate advocate for years, and he's been to Washington many times and held meetings with members of Congress on the topic of climate change. And Gary is also currently running in the Democratic primary for the House of Representatives for our district, the 4th Congressional District. And Mark Sandine he's chair of the Sustainable Lexington Committee and co-chairs Lexington's Getting to Net Zero Emissions Task Force. And he co-founded and serves as president of Mass Solar. And I'd just like to mention that Joe Kennedy, our congressman, was invited to this forum but has been unable to attend. I'd like to thank, before we get started, and this forum, depending on the quality of the video, will be uploaded to YouTube. So to find a link to it tomorrow, go to the Newton Ward 3 Democratic Committee Facebook page for the link. And there are programs back there, and that's on the back of the program where you can find that link. And now I'll introduce the fellow organizer of this forum and our moderator, Larry Bressler.
Thank you, Larissa, and thank you, speakers, for agreeing to serve on our panel, and thank you for everybody else for leaving your hot house and coming to this nice, cool senior center, where hopefully you're more comfortable here than you would be at home. I do want to mention, even though we don't have a real large audience, we are planning to put it on YouTube, and we have quite a large number of people to send out the link to it. So our hope is that a lot more people will see this, will hear this, than are present. The other thing I want to mention is this is in no way a debate. If we get the opportunity for you guys to sort of exchange ideas with each other, if we have time for that, we would be happy to do it. We'll see how much time we have. But the general flow of the program is that everybody's going to have about 12 minutes to present their ideas, and the ideas will be some combination of explaining what the problems with climate change are and what sorts of solutions you see as possible solutions. And then after that, we'll see how the timing is. Then maybe there will be time for some interaction between you, or we'll go to some questions. So, we've agreed on an order of speakers, and the first person who's going to speak is John Reilly. He's going to talk a little bit about carbon tax, and he's also going to talk about public infrastructure and how they might provide options how the public infrastructure might provide options to reduce CO2 emissions. So, John, the floor is yours.
Sure. Thank you. Is this working? No. Hello? Okay? I don't think so. Hello? Well, I appreciate the opportunity to be here this evening. I've talked at many of these sorts of things over my career, and sometimes it's snowing and cold outside, and it's hard to get people to believe that climate change is a real problem that's happening. It's not hard to believe that today. I was talking to Susan Solomon, one of the world's top climatologists. She was chair of the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, the Working Group One Committee. Just this afternoon, I was meeting with her. She was telling me what it would be. It would have been 2 degrees cooler if we hadn't had climate change today. So that's a little bit more.
John, if you could talk a little more in the microphone so that the camera can hear you.
Okay, hello. So, yeah, there you go. So it would have been 2 degrees cooler today without the global warming experience. I think she meant 2 degrees Fahrenheit, although actually we expect warming to be stronger over the land than over the ocean. And that 2 degrees is kind of Fahrenheit is what we've seen since pre-industrial so far. But we expect to see at least another 2 degrees global Fahrenheit warming by 2050. So that would be, like on the order of 4 degrees Fahrenheit, and over land, maybe 5 or 6. So these days we're seeing, like today, are going to be more frequent here. So it is important when we think about what to do about climate change on the mitigation side, obviously critical. We'll also think about how to adapt to climate change, or think about those things. I was on a panel in Boston last summer, and I think we have to look around ourselves. MIT is doing a big study of how the campus should adapt to climate change, thinking about where you live, where your geography is, what that means for climate, what the infrastructure of your home is, or your building is, how that's ready for climate, what the utilities are, will they be available if we have risk of disaster, what the risk of disasters are, and what you do as a family or people in the building. So there is kind of, so I think those are important things to think about. Obviously, we're worried about sea level rise and large coastal storms hitting Boston more frequently, etc. I'm an economist. I started working on climate change back in, for my PhD dissertation in 1980. So I've been thinking about it for a long time. I have been on a couple of the IPCC panels, the chair of the committee of the U.S. Global Change Research Program in the early 90s, worked for the federal government at MIT in 1998. So as an economist, my work is focused on what to do about climate change, carbon tax. So we economists like the idea of carbon pricing. We think it's important. It sends signals across the entire economy to everyone to make different decisions based on evaluating the economics of their different choices. So I think there's oftentimes a lot of resistance to carbon taxation because people think that why have a penalty? Why don't we subsidize good things instead of pay a tax? Subsidies on good things don't work very well. They do cost. In order to create subsidies, we create tax expenditures. So tax expenditures mean the federal government doesn't raise taxes it otherwise would. So what happens when they have to raise taxes? It comes out of your pocket as well. So these subsidies are just not as efficient as a carbon tax. And in fact, oftentimes when we subsidize these individual technologies, it turns out they're really not the right thing. Subsidizing electric cars, I have one subsidy, is one start. But then if you don't have a clean electric system and you have other sorts of incentives, it's not going to be really that much cleaner than something else. So we do need to think broadly and think about this carbon taxation idea. For carbon pricing established through either a carbon tax or a cap and trade system. Two different ways to get carbon pricing. So I think Gary is a big advocate of carbon taxation, so he may give you a little bit more on that. We're talking now about thinking there are people in the country thinking about not the current administration, but people in both the Republican and Democratic Party thinking about how to, what sort of carbon pricing mechanism we would have, either a broad cap and trade under Section 115 of the Clean Air Act to establish limits for carbon emissions in each state, and then states would have to implement a plan to do that, ideally through establishing cap and trades in each state, trading among states. So that's one plan. I'm working with some folks in Washington on that. There's also a Republican idea to actually do a carbon tax starting around 40, the Climate Leadership Council, $40 a ton, and then rising about 5% a year. So that would give us a carbon tax around $500 by 2050, which would be, that's a healthy number, a big number. As we get to those big numbers, you say, gee whiz, that's going to be really expensive. Ideally, by that point, we're not emitting that carbon. So the high carbon price, people only pay that if you're still emitting carbon. If you found ways to not emit carbon, then it doesn't affect you at all, right? So that's the focus. One of the things I thought I would talk about a little bit is, obviously fossil. I think all of you probably know. In this group, I'm sure we have a fairly knowledgeable group who's thought about this issue before. It's fossil fuels that are the main contributor, combusting fossil fuels, the main contributor to CO2. So a carbon tax would go on to fossil fuel use or directly the emissions if it's on fossil fuel use. We would scale it relative to the carbon intensity of those different fuels. Natural gas is the least carbon intensive. Oil products are next, and then coal is the most carbon intensive. So you see the highest carbon tax on coal. Coal is mostly carbon at $40 a ton on coal would be about $40 a ton tax on carbon on coal, so it's a pretty good size. A $40 a ton tax on carbon in gasoline would only be about 40 cents. So not a big number compared to the price of gasoline, but passing on some of those incentives. But one of the things I wanted to mention a little bit is, we do, one of the truths of the climate issue is that if you don't get at as much as you can of what's causing the problem, then you don't have as much effectiveness as you really need. So we care about, we have to have most of the whole world join in. If most countries do it, but some don't, then they become havens for pollution, emit the CO2, and we don't get nearly as far as we want to. So getting this broad carbon tax and lots of participation is really critical. It's also critical to think of all the sources of carbon dioxide and all the sources of other greenhouse gases. So what are the other sources of carbon dioxide? One of them is cement manufacture, and the other is land use change. So, land use change can either be a sink for carbon or a source for carbon. If trees are growing, they're taking up carbon, and they can store it in the soil. If you deforest the soil, the carbon is being released to the atmosphere. So, lots of people say, well, how would you put a carbon tax on that? I've written papers saying it's not as hard as people think. And so while there are other methods we could use to stop deforestation or encourage reforestation, just extending a carbon tax to that would be a good idea as well. We also care about other greenhouse gases, so that's methane. Methane is there's fossil source of methane, leakage from coal mining, from natural gas. Natural gas is methane for the most part, and so when your pipes leak or you mine that leaks methane. Nitrous oxide from methane also comes from biogenic sources. Ruminant animals belching is a big source of methane. Rice production is a big source of methane, and then waste dumps and waste disposal can be a big source of methane if the waste decomposes under anaerobic conditions. Nitrous oxide, largely somewhat related to combustion of fossil fuels, but also use of nitrogen fertilizer in agriculture, and then CFCs, HFCs, chlorofluorocarbons, and SF6, those sorts of gases used in smaller sorts of things. Some of those, the nasty aspects of those, is they have lifetimes in the atmosphere of thousands of years. So while there's not that much of them there, once there they stay forever, or nearly forever. So the big challenge of managing this problem is Even if we do a lot now, it's really, we have to be very persistent in doing things about it, and we have to get carbon emissions and those greenhouse gas emissions down to essentially zero. We talk about stabilizing concentrations in the atmosphere, and some people make the mistake that if we stabilize emissions, we don't increase emissions anymore, that will somehow solve the problem. We have to go down, down, down. Most people think at least 50% reduction by 2050, maybe 80% globally, and then eventually down to zero. So that is a big challenge, reimagining the entire world economy without fossil fuels and thinking about what we do. I guess the other thing I'd say is, a lot of the work we've done on modeling carbon taxation and carbon pricing in the United States is to look at the effects on people at different income levels. So it is a fact that we wealthier people tend to use more energy and have more, and then more carbon dioxide emissions. But as a share of our expenditure, it tends to be lower. So when we put a carbon tax on, it tends to be regressive. It tends to take the largest percentage of income out of the lowest